Hi guys, thank you for watching. My name is Mark and I would like to take you on a small journey. A journey to something that really happened. It happened 15 years ago here in London. And I remember it quite vividly. I was sitting in a car with a colleague of mine. To be more precise, it wasn't really a regular car, it was a limousine. It was really a luxury limousine and I was flabbergasted by all the fancy features in it. My colleague next to me, which was, of course, the reason why we're in such a luxury car, because I would normally use the underground, was doing a puzzle. I think he was doing a Sudoku or something. And after some while, I got used to the limousine and I opened my laptop and started doing some work. And he put down his puzzle and he asked me, "Don't you like puzzling? Don't you like Sudoku?" And I answered him quite straightforward, saying, "No, I don't like to solve issues that already have been solved by other people. I like new things." And he put away his puzzle. I'm not sure if he liked my answer, but he put it away. He didn't have much fun with it anymore. He said, "Mark, let me tell you something. I think that you have much more power than I have." And I was flabbergasted because I was a young guy managing a small department, 50 people. And next to me was somebody managing 10,000 people. He was a division head and had a revenue of about 10 billion annually. And he was now telling me that I had more power than he had. And I asked him, "Why do you think that? So why and where does this conclusion come from?" And he said, "Well, it's very easy." He said, "Today we are meeting with 8 or 10 division heads, and I'm one of them. And the agenda was made by you, Mark, correct?" "Yeah, that's correct." He said, "Well, then you decide what's being decided today, because we only discuss it. And normally in a board, things that are on the agenda are approved." He told normally 85% of the topics on the agenda of a normal board, in his experience, was approved. So this practitioner made me curious about, is that true? Is a board normally used to approve topics? And in our paper, the paper I'm now going to present to you, we discussed it and we found that the colleague was correct. So I brought some slides because we're used to looking at slides too. This is the name of the paper and these are the 4 hypotheses. So the first hypothesis is the one created by the practitioner. The second one works on the first one because if the board only rejects 15%, and we know from other studies that 75 to 98% of initiatives, ideas are stopped, then they should be stopped somewhere else. So the question is, what's the contribution of those gatekeeping boards to the total amount of cancelled initiatives? And we put 5% in here. So the more than 95%, we expect of the cancelled initiatives are cancelled outside the board. Then H3 and H4 are on machine learning. H3, we try to, we studied if a machine learning models can outperform human performance in the arena of cancelling projects. And the fourth hypothesis is on if you normally execute a project, let's say an IT project, and you work in gates, or a lot of organizations work in gates, do you need a model for each gate separately? That's H4. So talking about the gates, there are a lot of decision processes around gates. I picked this one from Cooper because it's very famous. So, okay, we've got a discovery phase. And after that discovery phase, we got the first gate, which is decided then by a gatekeeper or a board. And then we go into the scoping. And after that, we get a second gate. So the same initiative goes to the second gate. And if it's approved, then it goes to the stage 2 from Cooper, build the business case. And after you created the business case, then you can ask if you can proceed in gate 3 to stage 3. So this is the regular process on gating. And this is something we used. We were able to identify 3 organizations who shared their data on this topic with us. let's call them organization A, B, and C, European telecommunication organizations. These are the time frames of the data they shared with us. So it's from 2008 up to 2018. In total, we found 1,400 board decisions. So 285 from this organization, 126 from this, and 1,058 from this organization. On average, they decided 7 to 13 decisions per month. And the organizations also shared the amount of cancelled projects. So this organization had 500 cancelled projects, and this one 8,500. In total, 9,000 projects were cancelled. So this was the data set. What we do for H1? For H1, we said, okay, let's have a look for each of the 3 organizations about the ratio of the approved to the cancelled projects. So organization A had 100% of the projects we found on the agenda. More than 95% of those were cancelled. Approved. More than 95% were approved, and less than 5% was cancelled. If you look at organization B, it's even 100% approved, and it had to do with the way they were working, because they did a lot of decision making outside of the board. So if you had all the decisions, all the support outside the board, after that you go to the board, and then the board always said in this case, yes, we would like to do so. So you don't need a lot of statistic knowledge or testing if you want to prove that these figures, 97% is for 1,400 decisions, more than 85%, and you're pretty sure that it is the case. So we could accept H1. That takes us to H2. And in H2, we studied the amount of cancellations, where they came from. So now we were looking at the 9,000 cancellations, and we see that from those 9,000, at 100%, 0.4% were cancelled in the board. 0.4. 99.6% was cancelled outside. So they were, let's say, bleeded to death, but there was not a formal decision, stop this project in the board. So again, testing if this 0.4% is smaller than 5% is an easy step, and it was concluded that we could accept H2 too. Then we went to the machine learning models. And if you look at the machine learning models, we only tested them with one of the 3 organizations. This organization shared with us 2,400 ideas and 37 input features on them, and 1 output feature. The output feature was this project cancelled or was it implemented? It's not about was it a success, it's only about was it implemented or not. And we had all kind of information on it. The project organization, so which departments are working on it, or even the name of a project leader or the demand manager. The project type, is it a new product, is it cost saving? The financials, the NPV, the net present value, or the budget. The time to market, so how long does it take to execute the project, or the execution of the project as such, meaning that the amount of red flags the project has had, or the time needed to solve a red flag. As always in machine learning, we've got a true positive, a false positive, true negative, and a false negative. In this case, a true positive happens when the model predicted a cancellation and the project was cancelled. So it's true and it's positive. Positive is a cancellation in our case. So if we look at H3 and we study per gate the approved and the reject one, so these are the approved and these are the ones that are cancelled, so they were rejected or cancelled somewhere else. So this is the total amount, 2,451. The model we trained using a linear model based learning algorithm, and we reduced loss, we minimized loss with stochastic gradient descent, and we looked at a Boolean binary classification, so this Boolean, we were able to generate area under the curves from 0.8% up. If we then compare this to the human performance, and in human performance we only know the false negative percentages, because a human has said, well, I think this is going to be a success, and in a later phase we see in this data set this was not a success. We can see, if we compare, that the false negative percentage of the machine threshold is much lower than the false negative of the human being. So we accept H3 for false negative percentage. And finally, we looked at H4. And in H4, we tested the data before the first gate. We created the model with an AOC 0.8, and data after gate 3. We created the model too with an AOC of 0.8. And if you look at that, you can see that the AOC improves, but we did not accept H4. Why not? Because of the recall, which reduced significantly. So that brings me to my 4 hypotheses initiated back then in the limousine, in the back of a limousine by this practitioner. 3 of the hypotheses were accepted and 1 was rejected. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching this.